Welcome to Genizus Podcast, where we dive into the dynamic world of generational conversation with your host, John, the baby boomer, along with Jessica, the millennial, and Joey, the Gen Z. Welcome. This is Genizus. Today, we actually have a special guest.
I'm Bebe, the Gen Zer, I guess.
Yeah, she's taking the place of Joe and for today. And I'm Jessica, and I'm back.
Yeah.
The millennial.
Mm-hmm. She's been here since the beginning. Joey's been off, and he's been doing his thing. Today, I'm not on camera.
Hey, we could put you on camera. I can get my phone.
That's okay. We're good. I'll be the producer today and just talk from behind the board. So today, what we're gonna talk about today?
Sure, I would love to. So Bebe is my cousin. So we're actually all related here. Unlike when Joey's here, he's or Julia, but Bebe is my dad's sister's daughter, and you're in your 20s.
Yes.
You're currently in school. You're going to college. We won't say where, but
It's somewhere north.
yeah. What year is this for you?
So this is technically my senior year, but my program is 5 years at the university.
Do you get a master's with it or no?
So masters are not considered usable anymore for this career. I can go for a master's, but it's only 1 year. And you just basically get an extra ching on your payroll when you apply for a job. And then you can go in for teaching.
But what is your specific area of study?
So it would be a bachelor's in architecture.
Okay, so
instead of bachelor's in science, where you could like branch off and go into bachelor's of business. Yeah, that's where it gets a little iffy with the other sciences. You know?
So it's not cost effective for you to stay and get a master's, basically.
No, it really isn't. However, in the long run, with not everyone in the United States doing it, I just might do it because it's just one extra year.
Yeah.
So, in terms of costs in the long run, I might just do it because it's cheaper that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would just, for me, I would just do it and get it over with. And then, you can say you at least had it done and you don't have to go back. But at the same time, maybe you'll find a job that will pay for it.
Yeah. See, that's the funny thing is that I've heard mixed stories of people getting hired and then paying for it, and then mixed stories of because it's not used anymore, they won't pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just, where everything's going now, it's like they're seeing, less education is, is fine because,
it's the experience that they're wanting to,
experience is better than education now, apparently.
Well, I think I believe that, to be honest. I mean, I think people are looking at education costing more money, and people just want to start working and making money rather than paying. But you went away, but it's not like you're not too far from home. So you're able to come home pretty much whenever you want. And so how does that, the ability to come home so often, how does that affect your college life? Are you still able to go out and do stuff, or is it different because you're so close to home? Your mom comes and sees you too often, maybe?
Or did you leave home to get away from?
It depends on who you're asking and who's asking me. I wanted to get away because I've seen the movies.
What movies are those?
Oh my gosh.
Euro Trip.
Euro Trip.
Beer Fest. The House Bunny.
The House Bunny. There you go.
These are all millennial movies. I don't even think she knows what these are.
It's so funny. I was trying to think in my head, what millennial movies can I say so I don't sound too young? Oh my gosh, what movies have I seen about college? I don't know. I'm gonna say High School Musical, but movies where
High School Musical.
Well,
Isn't
it's
that
more
millennial.
No.
No? Is that Gen Z?
Well,
okay,
no, it's like
so
in-betweenish.
I wouldn't even call myself a Gen Zer because
You are a Gen Zer.
No, but they're saying that people who were born between the age of 2000 or so, like the last year of millennial and the first year of Gen Z, which is like 2002, 2003, which I was born in 2003, would be, they could identify as a millennial.
No, false. False. You never owned a flip phone, a Motorola Razr.
I mean, my mom had one, and that was the first
Not
one.
You.
Yeah, but that was the first one I got to use, like in first grade when I wanted to play on a phone.
Doesn't count.
Hey, Bebe, do you know what that blue thing is in front of you that's on the table?
Yeah, isn't it a phone?
No. Jess, do you know what that is?
Yeah, I know from the last time. It's a radio.
Yeah, it's a radio.
Yeah.
It's from the 1970s, late 70s to early 80s.
It's also a weird murder weapon.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that Gen Z is like public phones.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Never used a payphone, have
Never
you?
used a payphone, right?
A payphone.
Really?
Yeah, my high school had a payphone, actually.
Okay, that doesn't count.
Yeah.
They just didn't take it out of your school.
Right. And maybe it was a museum piece.
Yeah. It was like...
They're like, hey, everybody, this is a museum piece, so we're going to put it in the school.
Yeah.
It's a public phone.
It's an art exhibition.
Right.
Sure. But yeah.
So college compared to what we went through, like, okay, I'm a boomer, obviously.
Yeah.
I went to two different schools. I went to Northern Illinois University, and I went to Columbia College. I got my associates in broadcasting, or my bachelor's degree in communications at Columbia. But that was not a boarding school. That was driving downtown every day.
Yeah.
I did go to NIU for about 6 months. Because, well, Beatrice, my sister who passed away, she went longer. She stayed there for a couple of years, whatever. And then I think she transferred to a different school, but she lived at the dorm. And I remember, when it was time for her to go there, we packed her up and we put her in the dorm and all that. So I had a different experience. I didn't want to go there and come back. So I decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to look at the bulletin board and see if there's like rooms for rent or something like that. So then I saw one on the bulletin board, stay for free. All you need to do is help out around the farm.
Yeah.
So I went and I'm like, okay, might as well. I interviewed with the guy. He was it was a couple with 7 kids.
Oh my God.
All of them were girls. Okay, so like the first night or first day I got there, I had a luggage bag with clothes and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I'll get my own room. I've got 7 girls. They were all fairly all right. They weren't, the hottest things, but it was a farm.
I saw this episode on Disney Plus special.
Ew.
It was a farm. It was a full functioning farm in DeKalb, Illinois. Pigs, chickens, cows, corn. It was the full farm experience.
See the guy that went to jail?
No, but it could have been close.
Okay.
Well, what the hell did you think? I don't understand. I've never thought of you as a farm person. Right?
I wasn't, but at that point I was desperate. I wanted to leave home and I wanted to, do my own thing. The only problem is when I got there, I'm like, okay, so where do I sleep? Guess where I slept?
In the barn.
No, next to the dude.
What?
Yeah.
With the father?
With the father. It was like a
I did see this on Inside Edition.
And I'm like, no freaking way. I'm like, I don't get my own room. I'm like, not yet. So I'm like, okay, this is too weird. So we get up like at 4 a.m. I'm out there feeding chickens and milking cows, or trying to learn how to milk a cow. And I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do this. I don't care if there's 7 girls and they're all, within the ages of 15 and 20. I'm like, I can't do this.
Oh,
I know, right?
God.
So I'm like, I told the guy, I can't do this. I'm sorry. So I ended up driving back and forth for about 6 months, and that was it. So then after that, I decided, okay, I want to go into communication. So I applied at Columbia, and I got accepted. So I went to school there. So my experience is a little different from the normal person, and you could probably make a movie out. You could probably make a movie out of this.
You need to look up these people. I swear I've seen them on TV or something.
Yeah, it's called Crime Talk.
Yeah.
On TikTok, there's a whole...
my
2020.
It's findyourfarmer.com.
Right?
I went to DePaul for a trimester right out of high school, and so fun. So it was such a cool experience. We moved, I stayed in a dorm, and then, we couldn't afford it. So then I went to see a local community college for 2.5 years, went to and got my associates, and then I went to NIU for 2 years. The first year I stayed on campus in a dorm, but it almost felt like I was commuting because I still worked back here.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I would still be driving almost every weekend to work.
Yeah.
And it just it wasn't typical. And then in December, my first year at NIU, I started dating my now husband. And so then that was a little different because it wasn't like in the dorms I was partying with all the other freshmen. I was already a junior and I was over 21. So it was just a very different dynamic. And then the second year I commuted my first half of my senior year. And so that was tough. I mean, commuting back and forth to DeKalb was a little tough. But what was nice is my boyfriend at the time, my now husband, lived in Geneva, and so it was kind of halfway there. So I could stay at his house if I, was tired. But I decided I needed to. I couldn't keep doing it, and my school schedule couldn't allow it because I was taking 5 classes, because I wanted to finish, I wanted to get my bachelor's, and so I went and found an apartment that was in a house, kind of like, well, no, yours is an actual like.
Yours was a house. Yeah, yours was.
Mine was a house, and it was a
Yours was like individual rooms, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
So it was like you had a key to the front. And it was a shared kitchen space. There's 2 bathrooms upstairs. And then like a powder room on my floor. And then each individual bedroom had its own key.
Oh, God.
And so like I didn't even know. I never even met the people who like lived upstairs.
So you didn't share it with it was your own.
It was my own.
Oh wow. I don't remember that.
Yeah, for only it was only half of the year. Of school.
Well, yeah.
So it was like from, I don't know, like January to May. It was really short. And and then that was it.
Yeah. No, like I will say like my first experience away from home, like the first year in the dorm.
A little rough. Poor baby.
Was rough. Like,
yeah.
I'm actually still known for that story, unfortunately, still in school because of how rough it was. And that's why, funny enough, people in my major still know me as that. That's why when I got a job on campus, no one knew me as that. That's why I'm more friends with people not in my major.
Yeah.
And I'm more how people knew me like in high school, like, you join everything, everybody, blah, blah, blah. You talk to everybody, you're so outgoing, blah, blah, blah. Where people in architecture, they know me as oh, you're so quiet. You know, you don't do everything. And
You don't erupt in school or in class and, okay, I'm the class clown.
yeah, they know me as like this quiet person that doesn't really talk, nothing.
Do you think that's because you take your like schooling seriously, and then your other stuff is where you have the fun? And
that is true, and I think that's what they know me more now. And I think I took my junior year as a way of like really branching off. And luckily enough, someone who I went to middle school was in all of my classes this semester. And so he knew me as, you know, someone from middle school, high school now, and was like, why does everyone think that you're this quiet person? I know you was this loud, you know, who does everything. So he told everyone this, and then, you know, he knew my friends, and now everyone knows me as everything. And I'm like, yeah, I guess this is a good thing. And you know,
if they don't see you at school as being loud, don't they see you out partying downtown and
are you a partier?
Clubbing, and she's in a sorority. I mean,
I mean, but there's different type of sororities. There's like the Alpha Betas, the Alpha Pupas, the Greek Kappa.
My sorority is, I'll give credit to my sorority. My sorority is the most inclusive, the most body positive one I believe there is out there, because that's why I chose mine, and that's why I preach it everywhere. Obviously I won't say which one it is, but that's why I chose mine. And
by inclusive, what do you mean? Because you know what, we live in a completely different time. I mean, when I was going to school, there was nothing like that. I mean, and Jess, when you were going to school, it might have just been starting.
I mean, but when I was in college, I mean, you heard all of those like horror stories of like sororities who would make their, what are they called? Recruits, during rush week.
Yeah.
They would put their rushes out on the auditorium stage and in just their underwear, and then have the, there was a story where they had the fraternities sit in the auditorium and with permanent markers, and they would just go up to all the girls in a circle where they could improve their body on their body.
No way.
Yeah, I heard that story when I was in college.
But it wasn't at your school.
I can't remember. I don't think so.
Oh, geez.
I don't know. It was I think it was at a state, like one of the state schools.
State schools?
Wow. Yeah, and the thing is that
it's like horrible hazing.
Yeah, that's the word that like it's banned at all schools, and especially mine. And
not all of them, because you still hear stories of hazing and
the
people.
The thing is, in the in the laws of sorority and fraternity,
the bylaws and stuff like that. Yeah.
You can't be. It's but. There's secrets everywhere, right? There's everything they do on the DL or whatever. However, what I know with mine, what I know, like what I've done, ours has never, and that's all I can say. But
so if you were like spanking each other on the ass with like paddles, you couldn't.
That would be for fun, right?
You couldn't say. Okay, got it.
All right, girls, let's all get together and spank each other.
Yes, let's have a pillow fight. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna have a pillow fight, but this time without tops.
Yeah. Can you explain something to me? So it was a couple years ago, I feel like, or maybe it was last year. Something on TikTok started coming up, trending with the sororities, where they do these really like embarrassingly good dance, like
the rush talk.
Yes.
So at the beginning of every semester, or at the beginning of the year, it's the freshmen who come into college. It's really more down south, right? Their whole process is way, way more significant than someone like my school who only has a smaller amount of sorority, in terms of like Panhellenic or their council, right? So they go in 2 weeks before their school starts, or 4 weeks, maybe like a month. Let's just say a month, for example.
Like who?
The freshman women or who identify as a woman. Because you're, John, you said inclusivity.
Right.
So I'm not going to lie. I know a lot about this just because of all the things I've read. So inclusivity in sorority life is anyone who identifies as a woman. So in our sorority, in mine specifically, I can say this because this is what we preach. Anyone who identifies as a woman or who may, even if they go as they, them pronouns, they can still join our sorority, you know?
Yeah.
And that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is like, no one's hurting me, you know?
Right.
So do whatever you want, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I love about mine. You meet so many people and it's so beautiful. And
do you have to turn people away?
Well, that's like a bigger like thing that I really don't know anything about because that's like not my end.
Oh, okay.
I really don't know much about it. But like our educator is what's it called? Identifies as the LGBTQ plus community. But on the larger end of the South, what they do is that they bring in all the freshmen women early, and they basically go 2 weeks of looking at all like 24 different sororities, going to each of the houses, basically looking at which one they like, and then each day one is dropping them, one is wanting them, and blah, blah, blah. And if they get chosen, what's it called? They get to go to that house, and one doesn't, they basically just stay on campus for 2 weeks before school starts.
So it's sort of like an audition. It's like a sorority audit. Because I never had to go through that because I went to, Green Acres. And then when I went to Columbia, there was no such thing because it's a day school.
It's
a day school.
Yeah.
There's no, unless you stay at one of the apartments or whatever, but you're not gonna, I wasn't gonna stay at, downtown.
Yeah, that was like with DePaul. Like DePaul was, because it's in the city. I think they had like frats, but it wasn't like houses.
Yeah,
You know
some
what I mean?
of the houses and non-houses are good thing and bad things, but sometimes you just live with who you live with. And
Right.
sometimes you can just deem that as a house.
Right. Yeah. Like I know at NIU they had a whole sorority fraternity row, and a lot of like fights erupted. And and I know at NIU when I was going there were so many stories about shootings and like just told like violence, and I'm like, we're in like farmland, like what is going on?
You thought that the only thing you're going to see is like aliens landing out.
Pretty much. Yeah. Like making like, what are those called? The circles?
Oh, yeah, the crop circles. Yeah, the crop circles. Yeah.
No, but like.
Chicken Little up in there.
Dude, the very first month I was there. So just starting out in my dorm, the very first month, a girl from Naperville goes missing. She's a freshman at NIU. She goes missing.
Are you kidding?
One can find her. I'm not fucking kidding. Yeah.
Wow.
So she goes missing. Everyone's looking for her. So they end up tracing it back. So she was an art student. And she ended up getting up early and like walking to this like forest area a little off campus, and to paint or draw or something. And that was the last time anyone had seen her. And so, they kept looking for her. And they ended up finding charred remains in I swear to God,
Oh my God.
very like the first month or two I was there. And so like the whole campus was on alert. They found her remains. They didn't know who did it.
Yeah.
And she's from Naperville. Like, yeah.
I think, you know what? I think she's buried at Ascension.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because there's a tomb that has an NIU, and it's got a picture of a girl on there, and it appeared, I think, when you went to school.
Well, that's probably her.
Yeah,
I remember her name. I don't know if I should say it, but
what's her first name?
Maybe I don't remember her name. But yeah, it was very tragic, and the whole campus was on high alert, obviously, and like me being a female, it was just scary.
Well,
I think anytime, you hear a story, especially
it's always like a female story, unfortunately.
I know. We have it rough, but yeah. So, they ended up finding the guy. There's stuff.
Oh, they did find a guy?
They did, yeah. So I don't know how they found him. He was a local. He was a DeKalb local dude. And they finally arrested him. He was trying to flee and go to the Mexican border, and they did catch him.
Oh, they did?
And they did sentence him, but the thing was, there are people who are from DeKalb. Like, I had some friends that were kind of local, you know, and they all think that he didn't do it.
Really?
That somebody else did it, and that
you think that they were probably just trying to...
They were trying to close it up because because first of all, it's NIU.
Well, I mean, was there enough evidence to say, okay, this guy did it, or was it? Was it circumstantial?
Supposedly,
like sometimes?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, he was convicted.
Oh, he was?
He was convicted, and but gosh, what was her name? Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up now. It was scary, but that was the very first freaking month I started at NIU.
Yeah. Well, I feel like every time we start college, or like any of us start college, what's it called? You hear all the horror stories. Because like my first time in the dorm, everything that happened, it was like, well, one, I had the bad roommate personally, so that happened to me. You know,
everybody's got stories. You know, like when I was going to school. Now, this is not college. This is when I was in grade school. I was in boarding school, in military school in Indiana. There was some pretty bad things that happened out there, you know. There's a I think I told the story on a different show, but I was at in the infirmary, and my roommate was from Mexico, barely spoke English. So he was afraid that this other kid, who was already like maybe 6 years older than everybody else, I think he was 20 and we were like 14 years old. So he was kind of scared because he kept hitting on him. And so he was scared. And so I told him, you know what, here's a cap gun. If the guy comes in or whatever, just shoot it off. People will hear you. And I mean, I'm a 14-year-old. I didn't know any better, but I knew that, hey, if somebody does something, you know, this is the way to do it. So then, sure enough, I'm at the infirmary. This kid, I still remember his name is Mark Ball. And he was from Kentucky. And so he was going up he was on the top bunk, and he was crawling up the bunk bed, right?
Yeah.
And so the kid, his name was Fernando. He heard him, and he saw his head. I guess this is the way Fernando explained it to me. He saw the kid peering up through the bed coming up, the post or whatever. He took the gun out of his pillow and he shot it and woke everybody up. He got in trouble. His parents had a lot of money. That's why he was there at 20 years old. And so he had flunked like 4 times.
Oh, my Lord.
Right. I mean, he's from Kentucky. Come on.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, anyway, they, I think they suspended him. He eventually got kicked out because he was, you know, doing things to little boys and stuff like that. So they finally caught him, and that was it. But that was I think the most traumatic thing that happened. I mean, there was a couple of other things. You know, me smoking cigars in the father's the rectory or whatever. We got into a stash of cigars and wine, and so I got in trouble for that. But I got in trouble for that. So, but going back to you, Bebe, what was the most traumatic thing that happened to you without, you know, maybe getting emotional or anything like that? I mean, if you could, you know, talk about it for the audience.
Sorry, 1 second. Tony Keller. Antoinette Tony Keller.
It is her.
Oh.
Tony Keller.
I think
She's from Plainfield.
I think it's Antoinette.
Yeah.
Good picture.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I see that picture, I think it's gonna creep me out.
Oh, there's a picture of her like body.
No, not.
Oh no,
She was. I think she said she was.
She was
Burnt.
18.
She was charred, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Let's see.
Oops.
I don't remember. No.
All I see is like the picture on the tomb, and it does. I mean, it kind of looks like her, but I don't know. I'd have to. Yeah. Is there another picture of her?
Oh, because that's the one we always think is the one in the same cemetery.
Right,
as the
right.
other one. Oh, yeah.
She's. It might be wrong. It might be wrong. It might not be her. But every time when you go into Ascension, it's on the left side and it's up, and you see a picture.
Yeah.
And it sort of looks like her. Kind of does.
I think
And she
that
was
might
from
be.
NIU because it's got like NIU stuff on it.
Oh, that might be.
Yeah. So.
Because I remember my mom telling me about some stuff like that.
Right. So Bebe,
Like of all my education.
no. Just that one that you said that was that you had a roommate that was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Now this is your college.
Yeah, this
when
was
you first got in there, right?
Yeah. So, yeah. So my first college roommate, it was a random, right?
Yeah, they pick your roommates
Yeah.
and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had reached out to. Funny enough, I had reached out to her the same weekend just because we went to the cabin for your birthday.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and she had messaged me saying she was not going to school because her parents kicked her out of it, or expelled her or whatever, unenrolled her. But then 2 seconds later, she said, "Oh, I'm 18. They can't unenroll me because I'm an adult." And I was like, "Okay." So I guess I should have gotten, a cleared of this already.
Red flag.
Yeah, red
flag alert. Yeah.
So anyways, we just started talking, blah, blah, blah. Then, the first day comes around and, we move in. I'm the first one there, start unpacking. She rolls in and everything seems nice, normal. She seems like a very nice girl. And I meet her dad. Her dad starts talking to my mom and sister, or just my mom, because obviously we're just rolling in. And then we decided to go to the bonfire night that they had in the dorm backyard. Yeah, everything was fine, but then things just started going crazy. She then started like not sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
She started smoking a lot of weed.
Well, doesn't that go hand in hand with college life?
Yeah, it's not, I'm not bothered by it. I'm just like, the way she was doing it, it was just on top of everything. But she was telling me stories of what happened over the summer. And like, I think I feel like this is like all public news at this point because it's all like in the police reports.
Yeah, to the police reports.
Yeah. But basically,
Well, then didn't she like stay out? Like she didn't even go to classes, and she stayed out a lot, and then she ended up bringing like dudes back to your.
Yeah, that was the thing. The first night she brought home a guy, and because we had gone to a friend's dorm and they had an extra like loft kit, so her bed then got lofted, and she had this whole beanbag set up at the bottom, but she brought home this guy, and I thought they were she had worded as if they were friends from high school because. At my university, it seems like everyone knows each other from school because it seems like a very local school for some reason.
Okay.
Just like they say Iowa is a second Naperville college because everyone from Naperville goes to Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, and then the next morning, because I slept with my wallet and my pepper spray.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. And then the next day, she tells me, oh, I just found him in Sandburg. I don't know who he is. And I was like, where's that? What's that? And she was just like, I don't know. I was just around. I was just like, okay, cool. And then this proceeded to
I did not say that's cool.
I don't think she knew what to say.
I didn't know what to say because, okay.
Did you say, hey, where's mine?
Because it was just like, the thing is that I had watched so many movies and
Lifetime.
Basically Dayline. So many things of like, you don't want to come across as someone that always says no, and you don't want to be the roommate that is going to be talked about badly,
Right?
Because they might talk bad about you.
Snitches is bitches.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And the other thing is that
you're also trying to get used to that type of environment in life. So it's like, okay, well, I also don't want, this is going to be for the next 7 months or whatever. I don't want it to already start off.
Yeah.
With
this was your first experience away from home.
Absolutely. First experience away from home.
Yeah.
First day. And
the first day.
Yeah. And literally almost
throw you right into the hot pot, right?
Well, and not only that,
the meth pot.
Well, and not only that, is that the question that really bothered me was, she asked me, like, do you have any friends? And I said, no, not really. And she was like, well, did you meet anybody at the overnight stay? Because we have, the university used to do an overnight stay where you get to meet the people in your actual class, in your area of field. The thing is that I don't know why I keep doing this myself, but I seem to meet the people that either don't want to be friends or think life is so competitive that they can't be around other people. So, or they don't live in the dorm. So, like, great. Okay, cool.
Hey, look, a homeless guy. Let's bring him in.
Yeah, basically. But, that actually leads to my next point. So the next couple, because she only lasted 9 days. Next couple of days led to homeless people being let into the dorm.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Homeless people being let into the dorm.
Like, you mean she let the homeless people?
Yeah.
Oh, she let them in. Oh my God.
It was like
some friends of hers?
Couldn't even tell you.
Wow.
Yeah. One person wasn't deemed a homeless person. Was let into the dorm. They
don't you have to sign in?
They did. And then the one she did somehow sneak in. Because sometimes it is easy if there's a crowd.
Okay.
The other time was that she never came home because she was out doing drugs with some friends from high school. The other time was that she went to class, didn't like it, and decided that she was going to talk to the counselor and see if she can take one class and pick and choose which one she wanted to go to. And then, and everything seemed to be my fault. And then,
oh yeah, didn't she also come out of the shower like ass naked?
Yeah, that happened a couple of times with my other roommates because it was suites, right? So it was 2 rooms and we shared a shower.
Yeah, you guys were on like a quad, kind of, right?
It was lovely dorms. Like the dorm, I lived in luxury. It was very nice. But the other 2 got concerned because they felt unsafe for me at this point, where then we had to start getting the RA involved. And obviously the RA was like, you guys are adults. You need to like,
You're like, bitch, you don't understand. She just let in 18 homeless people with cats, okay? Now there's mice and cats and fleas in our dorm, okay?
And they got the grocery carts with them.
I stepped on a needle this morning, and now I have to go to the doctor and check for HPV. Oh, my God.
That is nuts.
Well, the funny thing is that she did ruin a couple things of mine, and like she stole my charger, she broke my mirror, she used a lot of my things, so I ended up having to throw away a lot my freshman year. And I just felt I just felt like it was just awful. And then I found out the day, in the end, the day that everything happened, it ended up that we talked to the RA, and she like had a freak out, and they called it something, and I don't remember right off the top of my head.
A freak out.
She had like a mental break.
She had that's what they called it. But it was something else, and apparently they said that she was off her meds or something.
Oh, nice.
But she like
sounds like a winner.
Yeah,
surprise! I didn't see that one coming.
But she like pushed me aside so she can go take a shower.
Take a shit.
Were you in her way?
When she took a shower.
You gonna laugh
I'm glad she didn't say that she took a shit in the shower.
Right. Hey, why is there a pile of crap in the shower?
Oh no!
Right next to a hot dog.
Right. And then
a crack pipe.
And so me and my sweet mates took this as the opportunity to
kick her out. Basically
come up with a plan to like talk to the RA and see what we could do. And then we all finished, and then she got changed. She left again, and then that same night they did the fire extinguisher
fireworks.
They checked the fire extinguishers, and we asked the RA to come back after they did that, and she was off her rocker already that time, and he saw that.
What was she doing?
She had pushed him and started doing like, "What is my city? I'm untouchable," and like, blah blah.
Hold on, let me put this to music.
Yeah, really. If you ask anybody I've told this story to, they always
my
go
buddy
like,
is P Diddy.
Oh no!
They literally, sometimes my friends go to me like, "Yo, PB, this is my city, right? This is my city." I'm like,
"Hey, it's Milwaukee. You can have it."
Yeah,
for real. And there's plenty of abandoned housing.
Right.
She can get her friends.
Hey, go down the street. I think there's a sign that says crack house.
Did she have clothes?
Yeah, she had clothes.
Okay.
Wow. And the RA finally was just like, I see now. Yes, I'm gonna go take care of it. And she apparently ran to another dorm.
So she was on the lam? She was on the run?
Yeah. That was the next day.
Oh, geez.
So she went to the other door. Apparently, she got into the other dorm and was just yelling and blah, blah, blah. Because she was having a mental breakdown, so everyone thought she was...
Did she have clothes on at this point?
She did, but no one knew what was going on with her, so somebody had called the police, and so they tackled her down.
At the other dorm, right?
At the other dorm. So that was one day. The next day...
This is the first day of college.
No, this is like first week, though.
This was day 9.
Day 9.
So I got a call from the police saying, "Hey, what's been going on?" And I told them everything.
Yeah.
And, I had to tell him, like, there's been all this, blah, blah, blah.
She's brought random ass strangers.
Yeah. And it wasn't that I was trying to get in trouble. It was more the fact that, if you were on my end, like, I was scared for myself. I'm not from this area.
No. Sure.
And I've only heard from, and what she didn't know is that I was actually going to transfer. Like, I had put in an application to transfer schools.
Yeah.
Like, I was ready to press the button. The only thing it was the deadline didn't come out yet, and how to transfer yet. So
I had been calling us, kind of,
because
crying and
and I had
what's going on.
You had sort of like the same type of traumatic experience that B did. Yeah, B had something like that. Not completely, but similar. But, yeah, wow, that's nuts.
No, but the bus is the next day.
Yeah, so the next day.
Hold on, I gotta find some effects for this.
No, it's not funny.
So the next day,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
so the next day, I had gone to a baseball game. And I was getting a bunch of messages from people in the dorm because we were all in an architecture group chat because that's where I lived. Everyone in my floor was in architecture. So, of course, everyone remembers me for this. And so, yeah. So,
so at this point, did you put together a jail?
Catapult?
A jail, architecture for a jail to put this girl in?
No. But I heard that she did have to stay, I believe, in
Now, how old was she? Do you know?
She was my age.
She was 18?
They're freshmen in college.
And she's going nuts.
It was because she was off her meds.
What kind of meds was she on? Crack?
Mood stabilizers, I'm
assuming.
So she was bipolar or something like that? Or
I think that's what she
sounded
ended
like
up getting diagnosed with.
That's what it sounds like she is.
Yeah. And so the next day her dad had to, get her, and then she went back to the dorm and, she didn't want to go. And the cops came to the dorm and was outside our dorm. And they were outside the dorm, but they weren't allowed, I believe, inside our room. So
the police?
Yes. So they were told
to go in the hallway?
Yeah. So they were told to go get her stuff, but she broke again and bolted out of the building and ran to the other dorm on the other side of the bridge because there's a bridge to the two dorms.
Okay.
And she cops.
You weren't there, right?
I had already gone because I was already.
So you were getting the play-by-play from somebody else.
Via Snapchat
because somebody was videotaping. And apparently I found out this year that she actually assaulted one of my new friends.
Really?
Because she was trying to get away from the cops. And then apparently she was trying to get into another dorm because she knew a guy who was in the dorm, and the guy was like, no, I'm not getting involved. And she left running again, and they have rolling down a hill, funny enough, because of the hill.
Into the river.
Yeah, into the river.
It was by a river, actually, funny enough. Mm-hmm. And they caught her, and then they sent her to
juvie?
Not juvie. It was like a rehab facility for a full month.
Wow.
And then
she come back?
She came back a month later.
Really?
But her stuff stayed in my dorm.
So did you rummage through it?
No, I never touched any of her stuff.
I thought her parents took her stuff.
No, it was actually really funny how they got her stuff because I had it was funny enough. I ended up getting in trouble with housing for drinking in the dorm, and it was because we were being really loud, and my bad. And
you were getting drunk.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I had talked to this lady and I said, I just first want to say I'm sorry about what I'm getting in trouble with, but I'm like, do you know anything that's happening with my dorm by chance?
Because you're in a double, and and she was gone, so you were now single technically.
Well, and not to be all rude and all, but her clothes were starting to stink because she had been running all this around the buildings, and Febreze can only help so much.
Oh my God!
And out of respect, I hadn't touched her stuff. Neither did I want to touch her stuff.
So how long is this going on?
I don't understand why they wouldn't tell you.
It's because when you're in college, you basically sign your rights away that only yourself is allowed to know what's happening to your records in college. Or if you sign special permission, your parents may know.
So they didn't know she was coming back or not, basically.
No, the school knows everything. Because if it's
Okay,
with
but
the
why
law,
would they have her stuff there?
If she wasn't going to come back.
Right. Even if she was going to come back a month, didn't the parents say, okay, I got to get her stuff and
because the
burn it?
parents aren't allowed to do any of that without her there.
What?
Yeah.
And if she was really gone and couldn't get it, then
so the last day of I actually think it was almost Mom's birthday. The day before, maybe the day after Mom's birthday.
It's just late September.
Yeah, late September. Someone just walks in because I locked my door, and funny enough, my other uncle David actually gave me a door stopper because I was so scared of people coming in my door at that point. I had that on there, and someone moved it, and I was like, huh? And it was her, and it was her dad, and it was her mom. And
were they all smoking crack pipes?
No, but
you didn't know they were coming.
I didn't know they were coming. No one had given me any notice.
No heads up, right?
And
that's not cool.
Yeah, and I had told the school, or this is, I guess, another thing, but yeah, the school basically was just like, yeah, we can't tell you anything because it's her stuff, you know?
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to know anything. I just want to know when her stuff is leaving because it's starting to smell.
And it's starting to walk by itself.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, it was, she showed up and she literally gives me a hug and she's like, yeah, they're kicking me out of school.
It's about time.
Yeah. But from what I was told from people who worked at the school, on the down low, was that she's never allowed to live in UWM in housing, university housing ever again. I will never post that stuff because of that.
Yeah.
But everyone to this day knows me as that. You know how sad that is for me, though?
That's stupid.
Yeah.
People need to get a grip.
The funny thing is that sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm Bebe, by the way. I've been here since freshman year, and they're like, that sounds really familiar. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
They're like, was your roommate that person? And I was like, yeah.
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 No,
Wow.
what you need to do is flip it on its head and reverse it and say, no, she was my roommate.
Right.
Yeah. Well.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, of all, you know what would be cool is to have somebody who was like in the generation before me talk about college and what their experiences were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because your experience is completely just
different,
out of this world.
Well, I think like when I talked to my grandparents about it, and they went to Bowling Green University, and so they had a very I would say typical-ish of kind of like going away to school, being in a dorm. You know, they didn't have to work necessarily, but they had on-campus jobs. But because they were in theater, it was a little bit different.
Right.
And so, and then, you know, my grandmother's senior year, she ended up getting engaged to my grandpa within 6 months of meeting him. Yeah.
They went to like, what is it?
No.
Dance house, bar hops. No, whatever they call those.
Sock hops?
Sock hops, yeah. And like the Fonz was there.
Oh my God. But yeah, so they ended up, I think their senior year, or it might have been like his freshman year of his master's, they were married and they ended up renting like a basement apartment. And that was like their first home. So I don't think that's, I mean, maybe of that generation that's typical because you get married young and, you know, but my grandmother worked. I mean, she was a teacher her, you know, whole career. And,
but when did they go to school? They went to school during the 40s, right? Or 50s? No, it was the 50s.
It would have been the 50s.
Yeah, it would have been the 50s, yeah. All right.
He was born in 34.
Yeah, that's my dad. My
turning 89 in July.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
Wow. Dad's 90. Yeah, he would have been 90
yeah, so they're around the same age. Yeah. So
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's... Well, Bebe, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks
Bebe.
for-
Although we didn't hit on like her partying and
Right. That'll have to be, because we have to talk generational
getting snuck
partying.
into like the bars when you're underage.
Right.
And having a fake ID.
Right. Did you ever have a fake ID?
Yes.
Oh, okay. There's no parental people here. Come on.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Depends on
But
who's watching.
the internet does save everything.
That's true. When it airs.
I did.
Right.
I had one.
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't need one because at that time, I mean, I used to go to like the Wisconsin. They were drink in Wisconsin, so I mean,
Yeah, but who wants to go to Wisconsin?
it was fun.
Go drink.
And then and I've told you the first time I drank, I was like 12 years old anyway. So yeah.
Well, yeah.
Dad gave me a shot of whiskey when it was raining outside. I was drunk out of my mind for about
One shot.
one shot. Yeah. I was 12 years old.
I mean, when we had sore
I
throats.
had 2 shots
but-
of whiskey last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you gave me the other half of it.
I know.
Oh.
Well, okay, so a shot and a half. I gave the other half.
All right, boys and girls. Well, that's it for this week.
Yeah,
Jen, it went fast.
It did.
I know.
Maybe you're going to have to join us again.
Heck yeah.
Maybe when Joey's here.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, that would be funny,
awesome.
Joe. Yeah, the 2 Gen Zs, a millennial and a boomer. Oh,
Yeah, because I would say, Bebe, you're definitely more of a typical Gen Zer. I mean, you're
Right.
She does the TikTok. She's
Right.
in college.
yeah, you know what? Maybe
Joey
next
is
time.
not typical, really.
Yeah, we'll have to talk next time. You and Joey talk about your social media habits
Mhm.
because they're completely different.
They are.
Yeah.
They really are.
All right. Well, that's it for this
I'm
week.
changing that all.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I got kicked out of Facebook, but somebody hacked my account. So then I got to start a whole new one.
The fact that he has a Facebook is what's concerning.
The boomers.
Hey, my mom's active on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure
She's a
she
boomer.
is. Well, thank you everyone for listening. This is Genizus Podcast. Thank you, Bebe, for
Thanks
coming
for having
on.
me.
And we'll see you next time, listeners. Bye. Thank you for listening to the Gen Is Us podcast. Make sure to subscribe everywhere podcasts are available and follow us on our Instagram and YouTube at Gen Is Us Podcast. We want to hear from you, the listeners. Send us any feedback or questions that you would like 3 generations to answer at contact@genizus.com. Thank you.
Life is full